This is one part garden soil, second part organic manure. I have used cow dung specifically for the harvest of the potatoes, and the third I'm adding is banana peels or any leaves, compost, or garden waste, kitchen waste that can be added, like leaves and peels and everything. That will help for the potassium boost and providing organic nutrients to the soil. For planting potatoes, you have to consider that your soil is not too heavy, because that can actually cause problems with the roots of the potatoes, and it can also cause the production of worms and all, which will eat and create holes in the potatoes. So other thing about the harvest of the potatoes is that they are grown on raised beds, so that the small potatoes that come out of the roots, they have sufficient space. That is why I will be making these raised beds for the potatoes, and the water is not going exactly on the top. It will be through the lanes in between two or more these raised structures. You do not have to make any special place for the potato beds, because the potatoes can be planted on the sides of other vegetables. Like in between, you can plant onions, which I always go for, or there can be peas. Peas are very good, greens are really good, because these green vegetables, they help fill up the deficiencies of especially potassium in the soil. So how do you make a raised bed for the potatoes? So first thing is, collect the soil, a lot of soil mixed with organic compost to the one side or the boundary of the garden. And after that, just put a little pressure so that these solidifies, and we want a shape of a rectangle here, flat on the top, steep on the sides. The other thing I love to do is, after I am done forming the bed, I put little water on top of it, and these little drizzles, they will harden the soil, and it will also give a better view of how I am making it. So this bed, this is at least 15 centimeters, 15 to 18 centimeters is a must. If you're planting directly into the soil, you have to leave a gap of 15 centimeters between the potato plants because they spread a lot and they need sufficient space in between the fruit as well. First, simply with both of your hands, form a triangle whatever way you can. After that, take one hand and just slide it to the one corner, then slide it to the another corner. Do not put a lot of pressure or a lot of soil will come out. After that, just take the hand and slide it on the top so that it will form a rectangular shape. That is what you exactly need. And this boundary has to be formed wherever you're planting your potatoes. The other thing, how do you know that your potatoes are ready to be planted into soil or into the pots wherever you like it? In this season, especially in this month of September or October, your this area on your potato, this is called an eye. This is what we called eye, and this sprouts, and when this starts sprouting you will see this bump sort of a thing that is white in color, or it can be brown in color as well, and on top of that there will be greenish yellowish sort of a leaf like structure will be there, not exactly leaves but it will be a leaf like structure like thorns. It will look like that, and this is the part which will be planted on the top. It does not have to be deep, it just have to be lightly placed, and it has to be like covered on all sides, very lightly placed, because if this area is damaged there will be a like damage to the plant as well. And it is very important to water the plant after you have planted it. Maybe you can wait for one day, but after that you must water the plant because it will not sprout until you do not water it properly. So this much is enough for the first day, because overwatering can lead to germs or bacteria or whatever in the soil that can eat up this part of the potato which is not dried. But I always prefer that the potatoes are cut and after that they are dried properly in the sun for 1 or 2 days before they are planted into the soil. So this is how the potatoes will be planted in the soil. Even if you are planting it into the pots or you're planting it into this field, it does not matter, but this area has to sprout before you plant it. So next thing is how much space to keep between the two planted potatoes. So the potato plants, they take up at least 8 inches on both sides. When the plant grows, they will be like this much. They will be coming out of this the raised bed as well. So at least the plant will grow 8 to 9 centimeters if they are being planted on season as well. Therefore the place between the two potatoes has to be maximum of or minimum of at least 12 centimeters space should be there between the two potato plants. Just make the bed, make a raised bed which is rectangular in shape, flat on the top. It is at least 8 centimeter, 6 to 8 centimeter wide. It has to be, because otherwise the new potatoes that will be formed under the plant, they will get exposed and they will get blue, and blue potatoes are not advisable to eat. So just make a little hole, and on top of that hole just put this sprouted area. You do not have to cut very deeply into the potato when you're taking out this eye area, but it has to be enough that this part does not get damaged. Rest of the potato you can use for cooking or whatever purposes you like. And after we are done, this does not have to be disturbed at least for 2-3 days until it has made some progress and got stabilized into the soil. Just a little bit of water. Let's make the rest of the bed. So again, how you make a bed is half garden soil. Use clay soil, not very much, in carrots and radish we use clay soil. Sorry, not clay, sandy soil, because those are the roots which require a lot of healthy penetration into the soil. That is why sandy soil is used, but for this one garden soil is perfect. It does not have to be very heavy soil like black soil, otherwise it can clog the roots. It can cause the roots to not grow properly, or it can lead to formation of worms, which is the one of the most potential threats to potato plants. This is 1 part garden soil, 1 part compost, and a little bit of organic leaves or garden waste, or like the old twigs and the kitchen waste, the peels and all. So first thing is gather the soil, like just do it from the starting. Gather the soil. After gathering the soil, put pressure on one side, put pressure on the other side. On the top, just move your hand very lightly so that excessive soil is removed. And after that, just put pressure on both of the sides. Again, remove some soil from the top. And this bed is like 4 inches deep, and below that it is just the normal field soil only. But I had turned and loosened the soil before I had made this garden beds, because that will help the roots in the future. Because if the soil in any vegetable, any fruit, any flower, anything that you're planting in soil, if your soil is cracked, that means there are lines that forms because of the less water. Or if your soil is too hard, that means you try to claw it and your hand break. That is when we say the soil is too hard. No plant will be growing in that soil. So it is essential to loosen the soil before you plant anything. And what I do on this channel, I have already told people that please add the compost or the manure or whatever fertilizers they want to use. Add it at least 20 days before you plant any vegetable, because that will help break down the compost, mix the soil properly, and it will lead to healthy growth. And you will see that if you are watering the soil before you plant it, and if you are adding the compost like 20 days before you actually plant anything, your plants will grow 50% quicker than the people who just add compost and then straight away plant. I'm putting the pressure on the top. So this is like 4 centimeter deep, 8 not 4 inches deep, around 8 inches wide. Especially made for the potatoes. Sprinkling some water on the top, because that will harden the soil and this will not break even if somebody steps foot on it. And in this case, my dog, obviously, who loves to waste my hard work. So this is how you prepare potato beds, and the potatoes can be planted after this water has dried up. Until then, if it takes 1 day or 2 days, you can dry up or sun dry. I preferably say sun dry, because the people who use microwaves to dry up the potatoes, that can damage the plant. Simply put it in soil for 1 or 2 days, your potatoes will be dried up. There will not be any pest attack or whatever attacks from the soil of the worms and all that feed on the organic matter. And after that, again, make a hole, put your potato on the top, little bit of soil on the sides, and just put a little bit of pressure. Do not put any sort of pressure on the bud that has sprouted. And after that, just let it be. Where you water on example, this is one raised bed, this is another raised bed. In between these, this valley is where you water for radish, for carrots, for any vegetables that you plant on the beds. Just put water in this area so that it does not go directly onto the plants, but the roots will be able to drink it as much as they want. carrot on 26th September. Here it is. Carrot on 26th September. Spinach. Methi. Onions after 10 days of planting them. Spinach after 4 days of planting them. These are the fastest growing vegetable. And this is methi. This also after 4 days of seeding. This is also one of the fastest growing vegetables. And this is another carrot field where the carrots were grown. This is the carrot and this is some other plant, I guess. This is carrot. So this is the carrot field. On that part it was all in compost and this was covered with sand and this part with garden soil. So right now the part that was covered with the compost has the best results, but this compost was treated and it was finely powdered before it was put on the seeds, and it has been watered twice till now, like fully immersed in water. And these are the companion flowers to attract the birds. The bugs will come and help with a lot in pollination. And this is the second companion plant here. This is marigold in different colors. Like this is a orangish reddish marigold. This will be orange one too. And this is how it will look like. This is African marigold. So the companion flowers are on the boundary, and after that these are in front of the other plants, like on the boundaries. Here there is radish and here the peas will be planted, so this will help attract the pollinators. And one will be planted here in the area of the greens, so this many will be sufficient and will help a lot with the pollinators. So thanks a lot for this contribution to Garden Frenzy, and our mission is to make sure that the world has sustainable food and everybody is at least making an effort to grow their own food, because growing your own food is the best option that you have in today's world to be free of pesticides and chemicals that are sprayed on the food. And it has a lot of health benefits, and it also helps in personal development of the person, because it requires a lot of patience, hard work, and it requires a lot of dedication. So thanks a lot for joining Garden Frenzy in this live, and this was about the potato field harvest.